Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to take this whole egg destruction any further, but I couldn't help myself. I'm going to drop it. This basically I rolled up in the bubble wrap, and then I put this like foam thing around it. I taped it around it, and so I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to come back to the results, and I'm going to talk some more about the last video. Well, let's see how things go. Window. Keep in mind that's already partially cracked. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about the wait, but I am back. And see our results. Something tells me it's broken just by the way it sounded when it hit, and by the way it feels. Sorry, this is really annoying to get off. Nothing more fun than bubble wrap, right? Let's just go get my knife. Well, I guess I've done what many have failed to do with an already cracked egg. Back in the same way it was before I dropped it. So yeah, pretty good. I guess I'm a smart person. Engineer maybe, who knows. But anyways, I'll talk something about the science behind the last thing that happened. Now, as you can see here, I have a piece of chainmail right here, and I have one of these plexiglass plates. I'm going to talk about some concepts behind what may have happened. So basically, chainmail, the purpose of it, what it does is it stops your strikes, you know, it stops the blow, but you still feel a lot of impact because it pushes the rings into you. Not as concentrated of an area as where like a sharp edge would hit, because again, it's not like the edge concentrated, it's like the shape of the rings that are being pushed into you. So I mean, it reduces the pressure a little bit, but not much. A plate, like this, like if I hit my arm with a plate, assuming the plate doesn't break, it distributes the pressure across the entire plate. Now notice this bends an awful lot. So again, more pressure would be in the area where it hit, but for the most part it would be distributed across the whole thing. And when I use padding, basically what happens is it obviously, it reduces the pressure already reduced by the plate. So that's reducing, your pressure by an awful lot. And then if I were to put that under chainmail, again, that would reduce the pressure, but not as much as the plate does. And what I think happened when I hit the plate and it obviously shattered is, before it shattered, obviously, with the concentrated area of the sharp blade hitting it really hard, it probably bent. I'm going to take you down here so you can see this. It probably bent, and notice how the egg was placed right there, and it moved up here. Well, as it hit it, as it bent, it probably forced the egg to move. So you can picture the egg like rolling up there as it's hitting it. So it would have been cracked a bit, but it wouldn't have broken. So I'd say it probably did have pretty concentrated, not quite on. Maybe if I was right dead on there, it would have broken some more. But as you can see, the whole idea of a plate to distribute the damage across a wide area plus padding works really well. Obviously the plate of plexiglass in this case failed, so it wouldn't have done it nearly so much as if it had stayed whole. But yeah, you can get the point. Sorry, I'm just blowing a mosquito there. But yeah, and as far as the dropping it goes, I used two different kinds of padding, which not only made it a lot bigger, but created wind resistance, slowing it down a lot before it hit the ground. So yeah, plus on the fact that like the individual bubbles on the bubble wrap, they stick out and then they go against the other thing, so that when the foam hits, it reduces a lot of damage and then brings it to the bubble wraps and then reduces it across all the little bubbles rather than on just like one big padded area. So that's another thing that helps it survive. So I guess that's all for this video now. Auf Wiedersehen.